Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. It's your boy Mike, back at you one more again, live on a Thursday night. Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate everybody coming out, man. Big shout out to everybody, man. It's been a couple weeks, man, so it's good to be back on the stage, man. Back here on a Thursday night, man, bringing the show to you. Tonight's show is going to be a blast, man. We already been having fun backstage. As you know, we got Brock coming to the stage here in just a few minutes, but first and foremost, man, make sure y'all show some love to my lovely wife, Takar. Always holding us down, man. You know, she always got our back with everything. So make sure y'all show some love in the comments, man. We really appreciate that. And make sure you show the channel some love as well, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that notification bell so you can get notifications each and every time we drop a video here on the channel, man. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate the support. Definitely make sure you can checking us out everywhere you can find us, man. Check us out on Morph Market. Follow both pages on IG, Herp Collectors Network. Check us out on Facebook, Herp Collectors. And then, of course, man, you can check out Clutch Conversations and all the podcasts on the Herp Collectors Network on major podcasting platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, the whole nine, man. Make sure you're checking us out, man. And please be sure to follow, rate, and review. We appreciate the love and support. Speaking of support, make sure you support both USART and USART Florida. The link for both organizations is in the description of this video, man. So make sure you're checking them out. If you don't got a membership, see about getting a membership, see about dropping donations, whatever you can do, man. And make sure you spread the word about both of these organizations that's helping protect our rights as reptile keepers, man. Definitely. And man, looking forward to this Saturday, man. We got Double Clutch coming up this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. It's going to be a blast. Me and the homie Matt from Ebony and Ivory Reptiles, man. We got a full panel, man. We got the whole Just Balling crew, and we got a special guest coming as well. So make sure you check that out this weekend. And if you're not tapped in with us on the Patreon, make sure you join the Patreon, man. It's a beautiful thing. Big family vibes, lots of fun, man. Definitely make sure you're checking us out. Appreciate the support, man. And speaking of support, man, let's check out these sponsor videos.
Art comes in many forms. And on Miss Angels, it comes to life. In life, success doesn't come to you. You go to it. In this game, forward thinking is the key to innovation and staying relevant. Plan your work and work your plan. Lose yourself in the art. Lose yourself with wetter morphs. Join Canova's Patreon today and get access to hundreds of hours of exclusive educational content designed to help you run a successful BallPython business. Get insider information on the latest genetics, hot new combos, and market trends, learning directly from the world's leading BallPython designer. With 5 benefits packed tiers, you may be asking yourself, which tier do I join, Mike? Well, if you're on the fence, I'd recommend the student tier. When I first joined the Patreon almost 4 years ago, this is the tier that I started on, and it's only gotten better since. So don't delay. Join the Canova Patreon today.
Big shout out to the sponsors, man. Appreciate y'all support, man. Y'all make sure y'all checking them out, man. Let's see who we got in the comments tonight, man. The chat going crazy, man. I see a super chat. See all that, man. We're gonna start out with the super chat. Big shout out to the homie Also a sponsor, the homie Josh, MCBR, Man Tooth, Captive Bread, Reptiles. Like, share, subscribe. Like Nike, just do it. Appreciate the super chat, man. Appreciate the love. Let's see who else we got in here tonight. We got Shauna in the building. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you coming out, man. Please send my love to Chris, man. I hope he's doing well. I shot him a text not too long ago, man. Chris, what's good, man? 319 in the building. We got the homie Leviathan. We got back-to-back double clutch Patreon representatives. Appreciate y'all coming out. What's good, John? Lucky's Pythons in the building. Mike, what's good? Proxima Reptiles. Appreciate you coming out. Eric's More Factory in the building. Another double clutch Patreon representative. What's good, Kane, man? Hey, if y'all don't know, Kane is a riot. He will have you rolling, and he'll bad influence too, man. He'll make you buy some snakes, man. So definitely, man, reach out to the homie Keeper Kane. If you're not following, definitely go check him out. We got the homie Dwight, the Pie Man in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? See who else we got. We got the OG Lucka in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming out. And then we got Jamie, Herp Collectors Network representative. Appreciate you coming out. Also, Double Clutch Patreon representative. Appreciate you coming out. Hey, we're going to stop it right there. We're going to kick the intro video, then we'll be right back with the show.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up. This cool. Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Welcome to the show. How you doing?
How you doing, Mike? I'm doing good, bud. I'm doing good.
Doing good, man. Good to get you on tonight, man. Looking forward to this.
I look forward to it. Thanks for lining this up in Daytona. That was awesome seeing you and getting this all lined up. So I really appreciate you inviting me on. I really do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It was real good chatting with you in Daytona, and it was super good seeing that clutch too, man. I still think about that clutch. I took some pictures and I look back at it, man. Like that was just, it was crazy. I mean, I love the way Cypress and Special and Hurricane and Spot Nose and Yellow Belly and all that stuff react together in those clown combos, man. It's nuts.
It is nuts. I knew it was going to be good. We got really really positive thing, finding out that our male had Hurricane in it. And so, because when we purchased that male, we didn't know it had Hurricane in it, Mike. So the fact that the male had Hurricane was like a real bonus because it was hiding in the male, and then in the babies, it really expressed itself.
Yeah, it was like 6 genes in that male on top of the clown, right?
I do. Yeah, I think there was 5 genes plus the clown in the original male that we got, and then we bred it to some Cypress clown combos, and that's how we made that really kick-ass clutch. It was actually 2 clutches that we had hatched in Daytona to make all those bangers, to make those really cool snakes.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. I really like those combos, man. Big shout out to the homie Kane for the super sticker. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate the support as always, my G. Yeah, man, that was nuts, man. I came back talking about that clutch and showing people pictures of it and everything. I was excited about that, so I know y'all had to be stoked.
We were super stoked. The hard part, Mike, was just identifying like what they were. You know, like trying to figure out like all the different genes that were in those snakes, because you don't want to misidentify them, you know. And that was the part where Winston and I, we had to have some other people help us. I know Austin from Canada, he came over and he was kind of helping identify like all the different mutations that we thought were actually in those snakes. So it was good.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So Tinley next week, man. I know you're gonna be there. You unveiling something new? Like, what's the plans for Tinley?
Well, yes. So I'm super excited about Tinley. Like I was telling you before, I love Chicago. I love the Chicago show. Just the vibe. I know it's a giant, BallPython show, as we all know, but it's great because almost everybody's there, and you run into so many different people, and it's just it's a wonderful time. I always enjoy attending. As far as like what we're bringing, I know that we're going to definitely be showcasing the Desert Ghost Sunset Clowns. Okay. So we'll have at least 2 of those on display at the show, and those things are really bright and super hot.
How many of those do you have?
I'm sorry, what?
How many of those do you have?
Well, we're going to bring 2 to the show. So we're going to bring 2 to the show. So I'll say that there'll be 2 females at the show. How about that? So yeah. I think you get the drift. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing those off. Winston and I just produced some DG monsoons. And
nice.
So we think we got chocolate in one of our animals. It could be a chocolate DG monsoon. And so we're really looking forward to showcasing that off if we have it as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna hopefully get the shed testing done to confirm like what it is that we have. Because I know we produced a chocolate monsoon. We want to shed test it to make sure, that it is het for DG and all that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, man. Like I was telling you behind stage, I definitely need to make it back to Tinley. It's been a hot minute, like 3 years since I've been to Tinley. And I've been saying it like for the last 3 years. I need to get back, but definitely need to get out there. It's been so crazy. Like my professional life has changed, like my job has changed, and I got more responsibility now. So that's keeping me busier, and then trying to work out and stay in shape, man, because I ain't getting no younger. And just kind of my plate just been filling up. So it's been hard to maneuver like I want to, but we'll make it work, man. We just recalibrate, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and just adjust.
Well, I think it's great that you said you're moving up in your professional life. Like you're getting more responsibility, more pay. That's positive. So
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And when it comes to working out, I know that I got the dad bod, but I will tell you, I ran 2 miles today. I work out 3 times a week. And 6 miles a week, Mike. And I try really hard to like stay in the gym and stay focused, and it's hard.
I suck at running long distances. Like, yeah. And it's not even so much the cardio aspect of it, because I do like other things for cardio and I'm just fine. It's just, I don't know, just something about me and running long distances. I don't like to do it. Like, I get bored or whatever.
Most people don't. I was fortunate that I, did wrestling and football in high school.
Okay.
In college, I was a collegiate wrestler. And so I had to like stay with the cardio thing. And then I only did that my freshman year. But I did stay with the running, and I really had to like stay with the stamina. And like people will tell you, 20 years ago when I've been doing this business now for 23 years, Mike, I used to run around the shows and I did not stop. Like I had more energy than God. It was insane. I'm not that guy anymore, but I still do try to stay in shape for my age. How about that?
Gotcha. Yeah, you got to, man. Life just in general is just so much better. Like when you're working out and getting some physical activity in, like better, all that good stuff.
Yeah, the endorphins. I tell people this all the time that are like down or get depressed. That I'm like, go work out. You'll feel a lot better. You will feel a lot better. You'll be a more positive person after you work out.
100%, man. That's actually a great segue into one of the things I wanted to tap in. Like you mentioned, like back in the day, you used to run around shows, and you've been in the game for like 23 years, man. So that's a long time. That's 2 decades, more than 2 decades. So what do you think is kind of like some of the drivers in terms of like what enabled you to have such longevity in the game?
You bet. I have been doing this a long time. I've thought about that because it's a good question. Heck, I've questioned my own sanity, like why I've been doing this for 23 years, to be honest with you. Couple of things. Number one, the friendships and the relationships that I have made in the reptile industry and the reptile hobby. These have been 20-year friendships. Some of them have been. Okay. And so when you form these deep kinship bonds with people, a lot of times they're not in the same state as you, but they're still like part of your everyday life because you talk to them so much and they support you and you support them. I will say that the friendships and the people that I know, that was one of the main, reasons for me to stay in this hobby as long as I have. Number two, I really honestly do love animals, and I love exotics, and obviously I love snakes. That was a big misconception, Mike, that when I first got into it, the old school guys, he's like, Brock's just in it for the money. I'm like, oh yeah, the money's fucking good when you're poor, so I totally understand that. But at the same thing, I really actually do love the snakes, and I really get off on new combos and new ball pythons. I geek out over them. I'm just like everybody else, and so that was another reason why I have stayed in the hobby and stayed doing this for so long. Is because I still geek out. I see combos that a lot of other people make, not that I don't make, that other people make. I'm like, that's fucking hot, and it gives me something to shoot for, and it makes me like inspired. And so that's another reason, that I have stayed in it. And I'll tell you the third one, Mike, because I'm just too fucking stupid to quit. I'll tell you that. I'll just tell you that right now. I just keep going and keep going. And sometimes my wife has asked me, I have friends that ask me, they're like, hey, dude, you got so much other stuff going on, like you could give something up and it would probably be better for your life and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. But on my days off, I spend time with the animals. I'm cleaning them and taking care of them and all that stuff. It's just so ingrained like into who I am, the fabric of who I am, that if I stopped, I'm a little worried like what would happen to me mentally and physically. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I imagine all 23 years, like it ain't just been unicorns and rainbows. It's been some tough times. And I imagine like those relationships, like that kind of stuff played into it. Is there like anything you can like call back on, like any stories or anything like that?
Yeah,
those relationships help pull you through?
100%. I was thinking about like today in our conversation we're going to have tonight. And one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about with you and to tell the people out there, because I want to be a positive force in the ball python industry, and I want to be a positive, person who inspires. And I get tons of messages and stuff like that, especially, right now. And I can tell you, Mike, I've seen a lot of downturns, and the ball python market has been dead, and they're dying and dead. And I've been hearing that the entire 23 years that I've been doing this. And the fact that I'm still here, even though people have been saying that for the last 23, it should tell you that, hey, this industry is what you make it. And right now we are in a slum. It kind of reminds me, to be honest with you, Mike, about 2017 vibes. Okay. Like that's kind of like because like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and I was thinking about this today, and in 2017, for me at least, 2017, 2018, the industry was going downhill. It was kind of, a little bit of a slump. Snakes weren't selling as easily and as fast as they had before. And we're kind of, going down. And then I will, say that there was a lot of positives of good. Number one, Justin, Kabelka did a wonderful thing out there, really pumping out the YouTube videos and showing people new combinations and things of that nature. So I give kudos to Justin for really helping by 2019, he was really helping the market and helping our industry to go, higher and showing new combos, and people were really starting to really get on board with the double and triple recessives, things of that nature, adding recessives into all the codons and things like that. And then in 2020, it was lights out with the COVID money and everything that happened. We have so many people, and I don't want to use this, term disrespectfully, but COVID breeders. We had a lot of people that came in and they're labeled as COVID breeders. Some have gotten out. There's still a lot of them that are still here, and I commend you for all of you that got in during COVID and are still here. Hey, Brock's, I'm giving you guys a shout out. Good for you. And it tells me that you guys definitely love it. You like it. You're enjoying it. And that you guys are, understanding the market. It goes up, it goes down, it comes back. And I think that I don't know when the market's going to, boom again, but I can promise you that, trust me, you're not even going to see it. And we're gonna boom again. Snakes are gonna be worth, lots and lots of money and all that. And here's another thing: is our market has grown. In 2017, 2015, there was only X amount of people in ball pythons, and every year we keep growing and we keep getting more and more people. And so we're now at 2025, and let me tell you, there's this many more people that are in our industry that are doing snakes or in the ball python hobby as opposed to what there was in 2017. And I think that for me, that's inspiring and that's awesome, because it shows me that we're getting a broader outreach and we're actually having more and more people accept us and take us seriously and take us for real, that, hey, we're not just the weirdos that play with snakes, that, there's a lot of legitimacy to us. We're very professional. We don't bother anybody. We really take care of our animals. Animal care is our number one, concern. We're not out mistreating animals, things of that nature. And we really take our stuff very professional, And And I think that people are finally out there in this world. They're finally starting to like take us seriously, that, you know, we're not what they thought we were 30 years ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. And like me, I personally don't take offense to COVID breeder. Like at this point, especially the longer and longer or the more and more time that goes by, it's gonna be really a badge of honor if you still hanging around and use a COVID breeder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I wasn't in before, but like I've heard all the stories, talked to a bunch of people, like shit was crazy when you came in during COVID, man. Like prices were sky high, animals were flying off the shelf. And this was like my first experience with the industry. Like once I got to like the industry and whatnot, and seeing like how all that went down. So that was kind of like my first experience. Obviously, you knew like it was COVID, like stuff was happening, but it was still like, even with knowing it and hearing stuff from other people, it was still like your first experience with the industry. So that's how you came in, like whoosh, and then all of a sudden the bottom fucking fell out, and then it was like totally different. And you're right, man. A lot of people have gotten out. I'm not saying they just got out because of the money. It's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of reasons why people get out and whatnot. But if you still trucking 5-10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, and you was a COVID breeder, that's a badge of honor.
I agree with you. And honestly, we had such an influx of individuals coming into our hobby in 2020 through 2022, like just massive new names popping up every day. Like I couldn't keep track of like all the new people coming in, you know, and which is great. I just wasn't used to being inundated with so many new people, you know, and which is great because there's just, I thought it was awesome that our hobby was growing and so many more people were coming in, you know, to us. I thought it was awesome, but yeah, I think one of the things that really was kind of, I was a little jealous of COVID. When people were getting in during COVID, they were coming in at like these all-time highs where prices were high. Everyone had snakes that were flying off the shelves and all that. And they were experiencing our industry for the first time, and they were just seeing us at our height. You know what I mean? So I walked around at shows and I was meeting people. Everybody had smiles on their faces. Everybody, Mike, was just fucking happier and shit just to be there. And I was kind of jealous that they're coming in, they're experiencing all this. They'd never experienced like what we're in right now. And so, you know, for us long timers, we're like, okay, yeah, this is awesome. And I really wish I could share, you know, like I'm sharing this with you now, but there's also another side to this. But yeah, it was one of those things. Wow, did you see that? Over 100 Instagram snake accounts have been deactivated this year. That's what somebody in the chat section just said.
Say that again? Yeah,
100 Instagram have been deactivated that follow me the past year alone. Wow. That's a pretty crazy number right there.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, MCBR. Thank you.
Yeah. That's Josh, Mantu's Captain Bred Reptiles.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Josh. That was awesome. And so, I was really, really taken aback, and it was really a great time to obviously be in the industry and a great time to be in the hobby. And I didn't see it coming. I'll be the first one to tell you, Mike, dude, I did not see everything that was going to happen in our industry. I did not see all of it. I wish I would have been more cued in between you and me. And I wish I would have had my collection more dialed in for everything that was going to happen between 2020 through 2023.
So where would you say one of your like bigger missteps was in terms of that, like having your collection dialed in?
Like I'll be straight with you. So just a little history, and then we'll get to that story. So okay. Myself and Brad Boa, you know, I call us like the kings of the codon, you know, era. There was nobody, and I'm wearing this as a badge of honor, and no disrespect to other breeders, but Brad and I, we kicked ass during the codon era. I mean, we ushered in, you know, we took over the butters, the champagnes, the bananas, you know, all that stuff. I mean, we really, really did a great job by finding these new morphs, developing them, getting them to the masses. Obviously, we made lots of money, you know, no disrespect there. We definitely made money. And so one of the things that caught us both off guard was in 2019, 2020, Justin was starting to take the market towards the double recessives, adding all the recessives in with these codons, doing all that stuff. Brad and I, we were completely unprepared at that time for where the market was going to head. And so I will tell you, you know, just speaking for myself, is that I was really ill stock / I was very ill prepared for where the industry and where the market was going to head. Does that make sense? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I kind of, I'm calling myself out where I wasn't prepared for all the double recessives and adding all that stuff into all my codons and stuff like that. So I totally had to retool my collection between 2019 and 2021. Like I did a massive retooling. I spent so much money, Mike, buying new animals and getting rid of old animals and trying to stay up and keep up with the game. It was very exhausting.
I can imagine. I can definitely imagine. So do you think you kind of like miss that because like were people telling you about it and you just like, nah, it's not going that direction? Or did you just like, was it totally out of left field? Did you not see it coming at all?
A little bit of both, to be straight with you, a little bit of both. I totally got caught off guard where I didn't see some of the things, you know, coming. I didn't think dreamsicles were going to be as hot as they were with the lavender albino project, as hot as they were. I didn't see that. You know, I knew clowns because I'd always done really well with clowns, and I love clowns. I knew clowns were going to be kicking butt, but I didn't know that, you know, combining a leopard and a clown in 2018 was going to be this super monster awesome thing, or 2017, whenever that was done. I didn't know that was going to be something, Mike, that, you know, you were going to be getting $7,000 a snake for those, because, you know, 3 years prior, a leopard was a $50 snake and a clown was a $100 snake, you know, at that time. And so you combine them now and you got the $7,000 snake, you know. So I kind of got taken. I guess I kind of got taken aback that I didn't follow market trends, and I wasn't clued in. I wasn't thinking the right way of like where I needed to take my collection, what I needed to do.
Gotcha. So speaking of trend, one of the trends lately, it's been like a lot of people kind of like down talking kind of where we are and stuff like that, and just kind of like circumstances around it and kind of different people's approaches, stuff like that. So what are your thoughts on some of that stuff?
You bet. So I've been, you know, seeing some of the negativity out there. I mean, there's quite a bit. And, you know, it gets me down. Some of these people that are really negative, they don't even have animals. And so that kind of really, you know, everybody can have a voice. Everybody can have their own opinions. But I think, you know, for credibility's sake and stuff like that, I think people in the game, people who have animals, people are doing this and really trying to do this, you know, just remember, hey, who you're getting your information from. I think because there's so much reptile social media out there now, it's inundating. I mean, it'll just blow your mind. And there is a lot of negativity, but I think that for all the negativity, there is still a lot of positive out here. And I want to be a voice of positivity, and I want to be a voice of reason and say that, yes, you know, you may have invested, you know, I know people that invested $5,000 in the last 2 years. I know people that invested fucking $1 million in the last 2 years. And I'm going to tell you, it is what you make of it. I've always said this: as long as you make babies and as long as you really believe in what you're doing, you're going to prevail. Okay. The snakes are going to sell. You're going to make your money back. You're going to be okay. It's just believing in yourself, not giving up. And, you know, really, I mean, honestly, we got to make smart choices. We're in a time now where, you know, your investment dollars and where you put your money and who you support really means a big deal, because, you know, you got to make smart choices. You know, going out and buying $100,000 worth of albinos right now would be a bad move. Okay? Bad move. You know, so.
And I just pressed send. I said, David, I just pressed send on my wire transfer.
Damn it. Damn, Mike, I should have picked something else. No, I think that we really need to be more, conscientious, you know, of where we're putting our money and what projects we're working. Like, for me, I want to make pretty snakes. And, you know, there's a lot of new morphs out there. The tornado is, you know, is coming out. I know that that's going to be a big hit. Cosmos has been out now for a couple of years, and those still command a very, very high price tag. And I think there's going to be a lot of Cosmos clowns that are going to be made that are going to look pretty awesome. And maybe Cosmos with puzzle and some other things, maybe it's going to be really cool. So I'm anxious to see that. But in just the puzzle game alone, you know, I have a lot of clowns in my collection, but I'm also really working the puzzle game a lot. And because, you know, puzzles were really kind of untapped and untouched. My good friend Barry Swope, he's done amazing fucking things.
Hypo Puzzle King.
Yeah, he is. The Swopester is a fucking man, dude. And the stuff that he's made with puzzles are just very inspiring, and he definitely knows his shit. And there's a guy that he was over here, Mike, while we're all doing clowns, Barry was all over here playing with puzzles by himself,
Yeah.
And he saw that coming, and he really had the mind and the vision for that. And it's paid off and rewarded him very well. And I commend Barry for what he did and all of the insight, the foresight, that he had for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man. And just talking with Barry, like you can just immediately pick up on the fact that like he's a guy who loves the game. Like he loves making the combos. He loves planning it out. He loves the creativity. Like he loves everything about like the BallPython genetic game. Like you can just hear the passion, and he's got like a wealth of knowledge. He's been around for a hot minute and just easy to talk to. Like always love tapping in with Barry.
Yes, yeah. And Barry was he named himself Elusive Morse for a
reason.
Elusive
propagation, yes, sir.
Yeah, elusive propagation. Yeah, exactly. He was very elusive, Mike, when I first met him, but he was always a very sociable guy, but he just didn't want to be out in the public. And
yeah,
and now I think it's awesome because I think Barry's out in the public obviously now. I think he's enjoying it. I think he's having fun. I think he's enjoying talking to people. And hey, Barry, you're very sociable. You already know this. You're a social butterfly, so it's great.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about Barry, and he in Florida with me, and I still hadn't met him yet, but I just heard people talking about Barry and talking about and associating his name with the hypopose and all the crazy stuff that he was doing in that project. And then I met him, got to talk to him, and got to know him. And yeah, you're 100%. Like when I first was talking to him, he hadn't really went on no podcast or anything. I want to say the first podcast that he came on was Clutch Conversations when we were in Daytona last year in 2024. Like me, him, and Jason Kittinger sat down, and I think that was his first podcast interview. And then we just started like, talking and whatnot and building a relationship from there. And he's been like more and more like on the scene now. Like you see him doing way more stuff, obviously, like with the branding and stuff like that, getting his name out there, passing out shirts, and talking to people, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing all the stuff you got to do.
Oh, I know. And Jason Kittinger, that's his best friend. And did you see the big news this week with Jason?
I did.
Smokes. I haven't talked to Jason yet. I know my buddy Winston has, and I love Jason. But there's a big misconception. People are out there thinking, Mike, that Jason got out. He didn't get out.
He's not out.
Yeah, he's not out. He's still got 400 babies that are, I'm sure, top notch and are fucking killer as shit. So I love Jason. Jason's another awesome fucking dude, and I mean, kudos for him. And he's, he made a life decision, and he's still in the game. So I think a lot of people wanted to misconstrue and say, hey, Jason Kittinger's getting out. He's not getting out. He's still got 400 babies he's going to raise up over there and make some killer stuff in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like I knew some sort of big change was coming. Like I knew it was only a matter of time because we had been like having offline conversations and stuff like that too. But yeah, you're 100%, man, 100% right. He's still got babies, still got stuff he can work with, and he's just gonna figure out which route he want to go.
Yeah, I actually commend him for making the right life decision for himself.
Yeah,
and for him and his family, and I think that's awesome. And I know Jason real well, hang out with him, love talking to him, and I knew something was going to happen. I just didn't know when and where. And I think this is great for Jason, and I think that, like I said, Jason's not going anywhere. He's still going to be in our industry, and he loves. I mean, trust me, that guy, his mind is so good when it comes to like combining just different puzzle and clown combinations. Jason's been at the forefront for a long time now, thinking like. He really knows how to like pair animals to think for the future. Like Jason's very smart.
Yeah, 100%. And he got a lot of experience with a bunch of different species of reptiles too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just BallPython.
No, he knows a shit ton of other species and stuff. And I just found out, and I'm gonna have to ask Jason about this. I heard he maybe even worked for an exporter back in the day. So like he got to see like all the different species that were getting imported down there. You live near Miami, correct, Mike?
No, I'm in Gainesville. So
it's
like
Florida, yeah. You're in Gainesville. I apologize. I thought you were more south. So no, but I mean down there in Miami, where they import most of the reptiles into the United States, those importers, they get to all these wild and crazy species. I mean, just the shit that you see down there is just phenomenal. Because all the different species of reptiles that come in. Like I hear stories and see pictures sometimes. I'm like, wow, that'd be amazing. I live in Nebraska. We don't see that shit, you know. So for me, I would love to be able to take more time off and go down there and see some of this, like, you know, have like Amir show me like what really goes on down there. It'd be neat to see.
Yeah, that would be pretty dope to see some of that stuff for sure.
For sure.
I mean, I'm down here and I haven't seen any of it, so it'd be a cool experience for me. Like, I hadn't even been to the Everglades. Like, I know a lot of people go out there herping and stuff. I don't know that I go herping, but I definitely want to go and see some of the animals like in nature. That'd be pretty cool, I think.
I've only drove through the Everglades. I've never like done the whole like herping in the Everglades thing. I would want to do it, or I do want to do it, but I'll be straight with you, Mike. The bugs scare me.
The bugs scare you?
Bugs, man. The bugs.
Bugs. You're not gonna like it down there, then?
No, man. Winston has told me about going camping in the Everglades, and he tells me about these no-see-um bugs and all that stuff. And he's like, they will eat you alive, and you have no idea what's happening. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely not gonna like that.
No way.
Y'all don't have bugs a lot in Nebraska?
We do, man. And this year we had the wettest summer we've had in like the last 20 years. We're officially out of a drought, and the bugs are so bad. They're just like the mosquitoes and shit. They're just out of control. Okay, they're out of control. So yeah, it's dude. Yeah, the bugs are fucking out of control this year. For me, I love living up here because we have definitive seasons, right? So right now we're getting ready to be in the fall season. I can't wait for all the leaves to, you know, churn, fall off the trees, and the bugs die, and it cools off. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we definitely don't have definitive seasons here. It's
no, you don't. How hot was it there where you're at today?
Today it probably got up to about 93-ish.
93?
Yeah, 93-ish.
We're still warm here. I think we got up to 90 today.
Okay.
Yeah, but in like 20, 30 days, we'll be down in the 70s and the 60s. So
yeah, you guys will have like a real like autumn. Like,
we have a real autumn. Yeah, we'll have a real autumn.
Not at all.
Yeah, and within 2 months we'll have snow. For sure.
I was in Columbus, Ohio, a couple years back during this time of year, and it was beautiful. Like all the different color leaves on the ground, on the trees. Like it was just crazy. Like it was beautiful.
It's so
way different than here.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. So question for you, you know, Mike, what's your kind of take on the market right now? And what do you kind of see, like what's happening and stuff? Can you give me your insight? Like, what do you feel?
Yeah, man. I feel like obviously it's slow right now. Obviously it's not like ideal and whatnot, but I do feel like it's going to come back. I feel like snakes, it's just it's a luxury, right? And so if people like got to choose between like putting tires on their car, food in their mouth, like kind of all the necessities, like all the kind of stuff you got to do, then obviously most people are going to choose the necessities before they choose to buy the snakes. And so there's definitely a tie to the economy. Once the economy start going, I feel like the snake market will get back going, but it's not going to be like at the same time. I don't feel like, because I feel like the snake market is going to be more of a, it's going to be like a lagging indicator, if that makes sense. It's going to take some time because people got to like take care of all the shit. They just got a better job, just kind of like all the things that go into like the economy is booming, the economy is doing better again. So like I feel like that's part of it. I do think now is a good time to invest if you can, because it's just like the stock market when everybody else like saying don't be scared. Like that's when you can really like find some deals, because like prices are better. You can get stuff for a lower price, and so you can buy low, sell high at some point in the future, versus how kind of like COVID breeders, they came in like buying high. And so that would be helpful, I think, is like investing right now and really just working projects that you're passionate about. Is so many projects, like that's one thing I've noticed. Like I feel like people, like it's always these hot projects and everyone trying to do the hot project, and then fast forward 18-24 months, all of a sudden that's not the hot project anymore, and a lot of people got like babies and stuff in this project, and this project is down because like so many people in it, everybody's selling pieces of the project. I feel like now and it's always been this way, but I'm definitely a person that preaches this right now. Work the projects that you're passionate about. Don't just drop it because everybody not working it. Keep tinkering. Barry, we just talked about Barry earlier, perfect example, tinkering with the project that he was passionate about. Now all of a sudden everybody on it, everybody want it. So definitely work that stuff that you're passionate about. I do feel like more and more people kind of shifting back, because like there was a time where everybody was just like multi-recessive, and they weren't putting a lot of codoms in. I feel like that's changed. Like I'm seeing more and more like incomplete dominance and multi-recessive combos, and so that's a good thing.
That's the future. That's future.
I do. I think so too. Like really cool looking snakes that look cool now, and then like some of these combos, like you look at like Hypo, DG, like some of this other stuff, and even like some of the incomplete dominance, like Chocolate's one of my favorite incomplete dominant genes. Very simple gene, but looks beautiful from birth to adult. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like working that kind of stuff where you're making like dope snakes. I know we're in the business to sell babies, but it is nice having cool looking as adults in your racks.
100%, man, 100%. I want to kind of touch off of what you said. So I'm also, besides just being in the snake business, and you and me have talked about this in the past, I'm an investor and I'm in other businesses. And I kind of was going to tell the people in the snake industry tonight, I have a house for sale in a whole other state that it's got 9 acres and all that. And it's sitting there and it's been for sale for 2 months and I've only had one offer on it. And I also have houses for sale that my construction company has built here in Nebraska. Excuse me. I have 4 houses for sale right now and I've got 0 offers. And so it's not just the snake business that's down right now. And I want people out there to understand that this is an economy thing. Like this is more than just the snake market. And you're 100% correct with what you said. Hey, people don't need a snake. You know what I mean? We sell snakes. You don't need a snake. You don't eat the snake. The snake doesn't provide you housing. The snake doesn't, it might provide you comfort, but the snake just doesn't. But the snake just doesn't. You don't need the snake. And so I think that, what we're looking at right now is a major economic, slowdown in the U.S. economy. And I think that once the U.S. economy, once we get more rate cuts from the Fed, once more money starts, flowing out there, I think that the snake market will come back. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know that once more money starts flowing, houses, around the country start selling faster, and that there will be more money, and the money will start to come, flowing back into our snake business. I can promise you that. And that's kind of like what happens, all the time with the cyclicals. And you mentioned stocks. I'm a huge stock guy. April was a gift, when the Liberate Your Money Day, that's what we kind of call it. Trump had his liberate you from your money, he did. That was like the best buying opportunity on the planet when you saw, Nvidia go down to $92. Now it's $190 today, baby. I mean, dude, look how much money you could have made if you were smart. You did that. So, we're in a really weird time economically. We need, I think, more and more people. I think, talking to people and talking to my clients and customers in the snake business, Mike, so many people need to do a payment plan because, like you just said, they got bills. They got to pay for. I saw some in the comments section about I needed new brakes in my car, but I think they said they bought some Hognose instead. It's expensive, but hey, who am I to judge? But no, I mean, there's a lot of my customers and clients that I'm talking to out there. They're like, Brock, I really want that snake from you, but I also have these bills over here. And I'm always like, hey, look, if those bills are life bills, it's for you and your family. Pay those first before you ever think about getting a snake,
1,000%.
You gotta do that.
Couple quick shout outs real quick. Big shout out to Josh, man. He said, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. I believe that 100%. Appreciate the super chat, homie. Big shout out to Chris too. Looking forward to seeing everybody in Tinley next weekend. Yeah, for sure, man. And I agree 100%. And honestly, bro, like a lot of the people, like it really affects like the pet level snakes and the more like foundational level snakes, like lower tier in terms of pricing snakes. It affects them heavily too, right? And so like it's people who having to make like life decisions a lot of times So they can't get those snakes, and so they're not buying snakes from those breeders, and so those breeders not getting money coming in, and so they're not buying up. Like Justin always say, this is a pyramid, but not a scheme, and that's true in a lot of ways, right? Because the snake money kind of flow up.
It does flow up. Yeah. You're totally right. You need people that are producing like the baseline stuff, so they got more money, so they can upgrade their collection, and then they can keep going up. And you were 100% correct. And something weird happened about 9 to 10 months ago, Mike, where like your base level, pet level stuff that all those breeders sell off, to go to the pet stores and stuff like that. Well, they quit buying, and it was really kind of strange. But they quit buying. They weren't buying the low end stuff. And in the pet stores, just they kind of shut down across the country, where they weren't really buying a lot of our excess ball pythons, because their stuff was sitting on the shelf and it wasn't moving because of what we just talked about with this economy slowing down. Call it the tariffs, call it interest rates. There's a million different reasons that we could put blame on it for what caused this to happen. But I really started seeing it 9 to 10 months ago, 11 months ago, when I noticed that no one in the pet stores weren't really selling, and so that really trickled, down or trickled up, however you want to look at it. That's when people really kind of start pumping the brakes on purchasing high-end snakes, so because of all that.
And I've seen that in the pet stores around here too, same kind of dynamic. I used to could always count on like being able to sell a lot of wholesale stuff to the pet stores, but even that's like slowed down. It's
slowed down, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I know. And it's what it is, Mike, because I'm talking to people and stuff. What it is the pet stores just aren't moving the product. When they're sitting on a snake that they've purchased from you and they've got it 4 or 5 months later, we sell a living creature that eats, poops, and needs constant care. And so we sell a perishable item that needs to be cared for. I get why the pet stores aren't buying. I mean, if they're sitting on a snake that they've had for 4 months, hey, they don't need to go buy another snake from me to replace that snake right yet. So I think that showed me that the economy as a whole in America was slowing down. The disposable money just wasn't there.
Yeah, and that's a good way to think about it too. Like just from a business perspective, so you sell the pet store a snake, and so they got to house it, right? And so it's overhead related to the housing, and they got to take care of it in terms of cleaning. So that's overhead, and they got to feed it. I mean, it's the same overhead that we have, but it's like sometimes it can like not even be worth it for them to buy it, depending on like what they can sell for the snake. And people see the price tags of like some of the ball pythons, just reptiles in general, but I particularly see it with the ball pythons, and they see the price tag on some of those snakes in those stores, but they still not making money hand over foot on that snake, even though the price is higher than what it might be if you come to Morph Market or something like that, because they got a lot of costs that go into that.
Right. And me and Winston were having this conversation just yesterday. Okay. One thing that's great about the ball python industry, and I kind of want to bring this up, is let's say you have a collection of 100 snakes, okay? And 100 snakes, and you're producing 20, 25 clutches a year, but 5 of those clutches, you're making some primo hot shit. You hear me? Like some good stuff. And all it takes is for you to produce some really kick-ass snakes, sell a couple of them for $3,000 to $5,000. Look how much money that is. Like you're still doing great. Yeah, you got some of this other stuff, but anytime you can sell a snake for $3,000 to $5,000, I mean, dude, kudos to you. You're making amazing money, So keep your heads up, everybody. There's still a lot of great times ahead of us, and there's, you're not going to kill it on every clutch, but all you need is just to have a couple of really great clutches, and you're still in the game, you're still making money, and you're still having fun,
I want to take a real quick sponsor break, but when we come back, I want to talk some about, because you mentioned like you've been giving advice in terms of like the market, the business, and stuff like that to various breeders. So I want to talk some about that and some of the advice you're giving.
You bet.
All right.
Known for his innovative approach to genetic shed testing and top quality ball pythons, Grey Rider Reptiles also excels in exceptional customer service and responsiveness. With a quick turnaround time, Charlie ensures you get the service you want and need. Visit shedtesting.com to explore his offerings and experience the best in the business. Don't miss out. Head to sharedtesting.com today and unlock the power of your breeding projects.
Peace and love, family. We invite you into the heart of our serenity, Ancestral Royal Pythons. At Ancestral Royal Pythons, we're not just breeders, we're nurturers of love and growth. Each of our high-end ball pythons is a tribute to the grandeur of the natural world and our dedication to quality. Reach out today and bring one of our creations into your home. This is Ancestral Royal Pythons. Your journey begins here.
Passion. Some are born with it, others chase it their whole lives. At MCBR, animals aren't just a business, they're our legacy. Driven by obsession, defined by quality. At MCBR, the passion drives us, the quality defines us. Our motto is simple: live your dream. For years, he worked in silence, shaping projects few could even imagine. A figure once hidden is now stepping into the light. The vault is opened, the path is revealed. At the center of it all, buried swoop, elusive propagations. From the shadows to the spotlight, the vision is undeniable. Hypo Puzzle King!
Big shout out to the sponsors. Appreciate you, fellas. So, man, people been hitting you up, getting market advice, business advice, industry advice. So what types of questions are you getting asked, and what do those answers look like?
You bet. So, like I was telling you earlier when we were off the thing, I have clients that these are obviously people who do business with me, and that's who I'm obviously interacting with. Some of them, have lots of money. Some of them have just, a little bit of money. But anyhow, they're asking me, hey, Brock, you've been doing this for so long. I'm spending $20,000 on a snake here, sometimes with me, sometimes with others, all that stuff. They're like, am I going to make my money back? What do I need to do? They're wondering if they're making bad choices, making, bad decisions, things of that nature. Others are contacting me and they're excited. They, have a little bit of money, $10,000. They want to know where to put it. Where should should they invest in? There's a lot of different things, as you already know, like where you can put your money in this business. And some people I can tell you right now that the people that are just getting in, right now, I have this new customer. I like him. He's awesome. He'll ask you 5 million questions, and he is very, very intelligent. And he is very not skeptical, but he really wants you to really kind of show him, okay, if I invest this, what do I have for my future? What do I need to get for the right animals? They're asking you, so if they buy this combo puzzle male, what should they buy over here for the females to make the best combos? And I'm getting a lot of questions like that. And it seems to me like people, they're very guarded with their money and they want to make sure every dollar counts, And so even my high-end clients that, are dropping $15,000, $20,000 on a snake with me, they really definitely want to make sure that they're spending their dollars the right way. And they want to make sure that they're not just buying the willy-nilly crazy new thing over here that someone produced that maybe he's got the genetics and it maybe doesn't. They want to make sure they want to make the best educated, purchases now. And there's a lot more of that out there where people are really, I call it more guarded with their money, and they want to really be selective about who they're giving it to and where they're spending it. So that I'm getting a lot of questions about that. And hey, Brock, is this the right thing for me to invest in? And I'll be honest with you, sometimes it's not even a client of mine, but they're going to spend and drop big money on something. And I'll tell them, hey, I don't think it's worth it. That's just, I give them sometimes they don't like hearing my opinion, but they ask me, and I'm going to give it to them honestly. There's certain things and certain projects and morphs and stuff that you can put your money in today that I just don't see. And I don't see you getting your return back out of it. You know what I mean? It could take it could take quite a few years, or sometimes maybe you're just getting sold something that isn't even what it is,
So you don't have to call out any specific projects. Unless you want to. But like, what are some telltale signs of like
you bet
look for in those projects?
I think, and I'm spoiled because I grew up in this for the last 23 years. And for the first 15 years that I was in this, Mike, every morph that we brought up and brought into our hobby, you could legitimately see, you know what I mean? Like you could tell, you could see it. Yellow belly was one of those like, oh shit, is this really a morph? Is this really a thing? And then once you figured it out, hey, up the sides, all that stuff, it really was a mutation. I think the last, 10 years, at least the last 7 or 8, we've got a lot of people that are a lot of mutations that people are claiming to be a mutation and they're not. If you've got to squint your eye and go, I see a head stamp back here off the eye. This is, that's $10,000. This is totally going to make you your money. You're getting in on the bottom ground level here. Hey, no, you're not. And I'm sorry to tell you, that person just took you. And if they can't show you a single gene, and I'm not going to name anything, but if they can't show you the single gene of this mutation that maybe you got a tricked out, just let's just say pretty looking snake over here. If they can't show you the single gene that did that, chances are that's not a morph, okay? Because, I look at, breeders that are producing 20 clutches or showing off every one, and they got 10 babies in the tub, Mike, but one of those babies is really fucking kick-ass looking, and it's a really pretty snake. Okay, that's selective breeding. It looks nice, this, that, and the other. You can't call it a new morph. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do. I agree 100%. Like, it's genetics at play, but it's not morph genetics the way we understand it, and like the way the BallPython morph industry is established, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I get kind of weary of like seeing genes like this always in like this combo with like 4 or 5 like other different genes, and I'm like, all right, so what is this gene? And then when you show me like what this gene is, it really don't look like anything different. Like it actually looks like one of the genes that's in the combo. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm in the Mario project, and I have a Mario DG male, and it doesn't look like a normal DG, but and I produced regular Marios from it, and it took some people really having to show me, and now granted, Mike, I'm old and my eyes might not be the best, but they really had to show me off the babies from him what the Mario really is. And the Mario in and of itself is not a very, stellar looking, awesome animal. But when you combo it with Desert Ghost, it makes a fucking really cool combo. It's an enhancing gene. It's got something to do around the eyes and the eyelashes and stuff like that. So there is, there is things like that where, and it took me a while just to be able to, with my eyes, to be able to figure out, okay, this really is something. You know what I mean? Like at first I didn't think it was. And then, I got into the project, and then I produced some babies from it, and then I could kind of see what they were talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
So
stuff like that make me weary too, right? Especially when you talk about dropping big money on it.
Oh yeah, there's I hear these things when I go to Daytona, I go to Tinley, I go to different shows and stuff, and talk to people, and I'm like, and they're telling me about how this person just dropped $8,000 on something, and you're like, oh. you just do this like ooh. Yeah, and like we always, I've used this analogy 50 times before, but the fire gene, Mike, we've renamed the fire gene like 12 different times, like flame, this, that, and the other. And I'm going to give you a good story. Okay, so this is like, we'll just say this is Tinley Park, probably 2014, 2013, I don't know, somewhere in that range. And there's this gentleman who come from another country. I won't name the country, won't tell you who he is, because I don't even know who he is. He's not in the industry anymore. And he shows up at my table, and he had just went and he had visited one of the OGs, okay? And he went there and he dropped like 30, 35 grand, and he spent $25,000 on a super fire, and it was under a different name. And he showed me on his phone, he's like, Brock, I just went to X person and I bought this super fire for $25,000, and it's amazing, and I'm gonna fucking rule the world with it. And I'm like looking at him and going like, I got a $300 fire mail right there. You combine 2 of those together, and it makes that. And he argued with me in Tinley Park for like 20, 25 minutes about this. And I finally told him, I said, hey, you and your super fire have a great fucking day, buddy. You're gonna make your money back. And you know what? In true Brock fashion, Mike, he disappeared, and he's not back. I knew when he walked away. I'm like, oh, that guy's done. That guy got taken. That guy got taken. He's done. Mm-hmm.
Dang.
True story. I will tell you, the fact that he argued with me for 20, 25 minutes, he kept showing me on his phone. I'm like, oh, you mean Superfire? And I like right here. He was like, look, no way.
He paid 25 bands for it? 25,000.
He paid 25,000, bud, for a Superfire. When at the time, fires were like $300, and Mike, you could have got a fucking Superfire for $1,500. Okay, easily $1,500. Yeah, and it was like, and I was just like, oh my god, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fudge nuggets, dude? Yeah. So, and I've been doing this for so long, and I've been, 3 major shows a year, Daytona, 2 Tinleys. I come in contact with a lot of people, and I don't know all these people all the time. I get a feel for some of them, some of them I don't. But anyway, I have countless stories, Mike, where I can tell you these people, I've never met them. Like this guy, I just told you about, showed up. Obviously, I can tell you he was a professional. He was not from America, and he had money. But he had just spent the week before at a big breeder's facility and dropped like 35 grand, and he thought he was going to rule the world with this Superfire. And I was like, oh God, you made a poor choice.
But he was calling a different name, though, right? We don't got to say the name.
Oh, it was a totally different name. Yeah, okay. I won't even say the name just to protect myself. It was pretty nuts.
That is crazy. That's wild. That's wild.
So there's a lot of that. So I mean, I'm getting a lot of questions right now, Mike, about like, hey Brock, well, someone just asked, hey Brock, where do you see the Monsoon project going? Good. That's a good question. There's a lot of things, guys, that I believe in personally, and where I think that I think the market has got legs and room and ways to grow. There's other things that I don't, and I'm pretty open about that as well. For example, and we'll get back to your Monsoon question, Mike, what do you think of the DG Xanthic Clown project? And tell me, like, how much legs do you think, but that the DG Xanthic Clown stuff? Because I agree. I think a DG Xanthic Clown is a very pretty snake.
It's a beautiful animal.
I'm sorry, what?
I say it's a beautiful animal.
It is a beautiful
clown. Yeah.
So question, and this is my legit question for the industry here. We're going to combine that. I mean, I'm in the project. How much legs do we think that project has, Mike? Because we're going to combine it with every clown combo you can think of. We're going to put Cosmos in it. We're going to put, I think Confusion's already been done, and Stranger. I just wonder, how much legs does that project have? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think stuff that really whacks out the pattern is gonna be real cool. I mean, because of the color palette, right? Like, there's only so far, or at least based on stuff that I've seen, there's only so far the color palette is gonna go. So I feel like where you get the most bang for your buck is stuff that have like a heavy influence on the pattern.
So yeah, I agree with that, and that's kind of what I've been thinking. Like, because this is me and just using my old brain. Like, what can I do to combo that to make something really freaking awesome? Because you're right, the color palette, Mike, we're not going to change the color palette on that. So we gotta change the patterning on it to make it so kick-ass, and maybe influence the color on it to make it to make it really pop out. To stand, because once, Mike, you're sitting at a show and you're in front of my table, and I got 20 DG Xanthic Clown combos out there, which is the one that's going to make the customer go, that one? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know, like, what's going to draw that person or the customer, the cash paying customer, to that one, and they're going to avoid these other 10. This is kind of like something I've really been thinking about, like getting into deep thoughts, like, okay, what's it going to be? Like, what's going to make people go, that's the pretty one, Does that make, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's got to be stuff that just stands out and pops.
Now, and on the flip side of that, I will tell you that the DG Xanthic project in and of itself, I think, has a lot of legs. I think it's going to be great in the puzzle stuff, Mike. I think it's going to be fucking awesome in the puzzle. I see a lot of different. I honestly think that there'll be more to do with the DG Xanthic puzzles than there will be to do with DG Xanthic clowns. Like, I think, I think over here the DG Xanthic puzzle project has got more legs than I think the clown. I think the clown will pooter out faster than the puzzle, because I think
because of the pattern stuff.
Yeah, because of the pattern stuff. Because just, you know, we can change stuff with puzzles and stuff that we can do, you know, and obviously we can do X amount with the clown as well. But I think sometimes that maybe there's a hidden gem in there where the puzzle might even influence the color, is what I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. So I'm thinking, I just have some ideas in my head where maybe there's some stuff we can do over here with the puzzle that we can't do with the clown that might help, like, influence the coloration of that snake. Like, that's something I'm thinking.
Interesting.
You know, we're only going to know until you try it, right?
Yeah, you got to try it. You got to do the work. Put in the work.
You got to try it. So yeah. So that's kind of something that, you know, I kind of want to talk about. But we'll go back to the monsoon.
That's one of the hardest things for me. Before we get to the monsoon, that's one of the hardest things for me. Is it's so many damn projects I want to work. So many things I want to do, but I got X amount of space and X amount of time, and so I have to, like, limit myself or, like, be smarter about it, right? And because I don't want to, like, overburden myself or just get it too crazy to where it's like can't even fucking handle it. Right. But that's one of the hardest things. Is like, so you see so much stuff, and like now I feel like it's even a little bit harder with prices where they are, because like there's projects that that's affordable to get into that are really nice untapped projects. And like I have to have conversations with myself all the time, be like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
So you're talking yourself out of it, aren't you, Mike?
Trying to. It don't work all the time.
Right.
Especially when people make you those offers you can't refuse. You're like,
Well, I'll tell you, and we'll get back to right now. I think, Mike, like, you know, like Jason Kittinger, we'll use our friend Jason. He can come back in, let's say in a year from now, Jason could take that big money that he just got now, and he could, you know, slice off X amount. He'll be able to buy some kick-ass shit next year. You know what I mean? So he's, you know, you can get in and you can get just so many fucking awesome stuff for, like you said, smoking deals right now. It's a different time. And if you are into it, which people like us are, and Jason is too, he'll be able to buy in and get some really kick-ass shit the next year to really influence his collection and grow his collection. And I agree with you. You know, I'm sure, like, what's Mike's top 3 in your collection? I want to know your top 3 projects. Like, what are your best projects you have right now that you really love? And you're
Hypo DG Clown, the deepest in Hypo DG Clown. Yeah, but I work Ultramel too, and then I'm getting into Hypo Puzzle stuff too.
Hypo Puzzle stuff. Okay, yeah. So those are your top 3: the Hypo DG Clown, Ultramel stuff, and then the Hypo Puzzle.
Yeah, all
solid projects. Those are solid projects. I mean, you saw the Ultramel Sunset. That thing's fucking smoking hot.
Yeah, that's my favorite sunset.
Oh, no. The Puzzle Sunset is your favorite. You just don't know it. I'm
talking for the Ultramel, bro.
The Ultramel's smoking hot. We have some triple heads where we hope, Mike, next year to make the Ultramel Sunset Puzzle. That'd be cool.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be kick-ass.
I'll be rooting for you on that one. I definitely want to see that.
Thank you. I'm 2 weeks out right now, Mike, to make my own puzzle sunsets again. So, and it was visual to double heads. So I'm excited about doing that again. So,
oh, hell yeah. So what is that, 1 in 8?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that 1 in 8 or 1 in 4?
Is it 1 in 8 or is it 1 in 6 when you're using a double visual to the double?
1 in 4.
Oh yeah, 1 in 4. It's a 1 in 4. Yeah. No, that's a 1 in 4. But I can still fucking skunk out.
I should have shots, hopefully. Knock on wood. I shouldn't even say this now because I said I was gonna get excited about stuff because stuff always happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I should have 1 in 4 shots at triples. In about I have eggs on the ground in about a month, so I'm probably about 3 months away from 1 in 4 shots at triples. But it's DG Clown Pod stuff.
DG Clown Pod. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just made my first DG Clown Pod.
Did you?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And I'm on my second clutch, and my first clutch was like 8 eggs, Mike. And I got 8 eggs. I got 2 clowns, 5 normals. Okay, 5 normals that are, you know, those are 66% pos heads. And I got lucky. I got the DG Clown Pod now on that. And then the second clutch, it just hatched out, and it was only like a 5 egger. I got like 3 normals. I got a clown again. and then I got, I think, a DG pod.
Sweet. Yeah, I was thinking, and this is a milestone for me. I was thinking because I got these sisters. They are combo double head ultra clown girls, and one of those girls was getting close to going. I thought she was going to be the first girl that went for me that I actually produced, but I guess the other girl, the because she is a leopard clown pod head DG, I guess she got the memo and said, nah, I'm gonna be the first. And she just like shot through her follicular development. And she had an ivy. And like I said, I'm gonna have eggs on the ground hopefully soon. And she's looking to be the first girl that I have on eggs and first girl that I get babies from that I actually produce.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So that's sweet. That's a huge milestone for me. Yeah.
No, it's a huge milestone. It's a female that you produce, and now she's laying eggs and producing.
Yeah. Bred to a male that I produce.
Bred to a male that you produce.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's a fucking huge thing, man. Good for you. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited, man. Hope everything goes well. I'm super excited because, like I said, that's a milestone.
You will enjoy that clutch probably more than all the other clutches this year. Of how, just because of how great it feels. So yeah, I totally get it. I too love the DG Clown Pie project. I've been working that one, Mike, for a long time. I started just by making my own triple heads and stuff. And then I got lucky. The DG Clown that I purchased back in 2020, COVID prices, brother, $10,000. And I got lucky because I found out he's het for hypo. So,
oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I've tested some of my females. They're normals, but they're het for DG, clown, pie, and hypo. So now I just need a male. So I got to test that male that I just produced, the DG clown pie boy. I'm praying, crossing my fingers that he's het hypo.
That's how I got where I am in the DG Clown Pie project, is because the male that I produced, the male and female I was just telling you about this, about to give me a clutch. But anyway, like the sire of those two snakes, he ended up being het pied. I didn't think he was. I didn't know he was het pied until I bred him. He was a DG combo het clown, and I bred him to a clown pie, and I was just gonna make building blocks for a DG clown pie project. And then once the baby started pimping, it was clown pies in there, and it was just absolutely insane. It was a good feeling. Like I need some of that to happen again.
Oh no, 100%. What you're talking about? Hey, I've been doing this a long time, Mike. I still need what you're talking about right there. You got to get a win. You hear me? Sometimes you just got to open the incubator box and look in there, and you got to see a wonderful snake, something you didn't even expect. That you're like, fuck yeah, I need this win. Just we all get burned out. We all get down on ourselves. Sometimes, bud, we just need that fucking win. You hear me? Like that DG clown pie I produced, I didn't even believe it was. I did a little Instagram video that night. I was like, yeah, it looks different, but I don't think it is. I was like pretty negative on it. And then I woke up the next morning, my phone's all blown up. I got like 15 people messaging me like, hey, dumbass, that is a DG clown pie. I'm like, hey, don't you jinx me. Don't you jinx me and put that bad juju out there. Yeah, no. That was a good hit, and I needed that to give me revitalize me, a little bit, because we all need that. Last year I will go back to the monsoon thing. I bred a visual monsoon male to het females that I had produced and are purchased, but like 3 clutches, I got out of 3 clutches, I think it was, let's just say, average of 6-7 eggs. So I think out of all those eggs, I only produced 3 monsoons. It was 1 monsoon a clutch. That was it. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is terrible, and I was like, how could I get this, this unlucky? And then this year I did the same pairing, that male back to those same adult females, same, clutch sizes, but dude, I'm swimming in monsoon. So it's like, wow. I needed the pick me up. I needed the, just like, okay, this is cool. I'm hitting them this year. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's crazy. People don't understand the odds, myself included. And I've been doing this a long time. You can just have years where you just get skunked. And then the next year things turn around and you get lucky and everything hits and goes your way. You know what I mean? So I know breeders out there One of them he got out this year, but everything that guy bred, he got so fucking lucky, Mike. He could breed a DG clown to like, you know, just this and then find another gene inside of both snakes that he didn't even know he had. I mean, he got fucking got lucky every clutch. It was crazy. So let's get back to Proxima reptiles here. Where does Brock think the Monsoon project's going? The project or the Monsoon project is not a dead end project, okay? Because everyone likes to say it's a dead end project. Brock, it overpowers everything. Well, I have a picture on my phone of one of my customers who just produced a redhead Monsoon, possibly clown, okay? And that snake is fucking sick. And so, you know, there's gonna be a lot more of that. Excuse me. The Monsoon, you know, we have not even really touched the tip of the barrel with all of the different combos that we could get into the Monsoon, okay? Like we really have only made, I think, how many different combinations? Maybe 6, you know, different combo Monsoons that we have, you know, integrated other genes into the Monsoon, maybe 6 or 7. I think the Monsoon project has got a lot of legs, and yeah, they've come down in price. I still love working with them. I still think they're fucking kick ass. I mean, I still geek out of them. They look like a granite Burmese, and that kind of was where the inspiration for a lot of us that got into working, with the Monsoons was because we saw what, you know, Bob Clark and those guys did with the granite Burmese back in the day. And so I think there's a lot more to be done, with the Monsoon. I think, you know, Monsoon DG Xanthic, that's going to be a fucking kick-ass fucking combo. You know, I think that's going to be a bright, awesome looking snake. And then you start doing that, and we still don't, I know this is a weird one, but I do believe that possibly the Monsoon and the Puzzle project, because of how much of an interaction the Puzzle did on my Sunset, I think that the Puzzle and the Monsoon could do some cool stuff. You know, because we've already proven with the Monsoon Pied guys that look cool that they can actually affect and twack out and overpower the Monsoon patterning. You know, so people talk about, Mike, about that the Monsoon overpowers anything you put to it, okay? But that's not true, because the Monsoon Pieds, I've produced several of them, and not all Monsoon Pieds are made the same, and Monsoon Pieds can actually overpower the Monsoon patterning and change it up and make it look really cool. And I produced a Paradox, a Mojave Paradox one me and Winston did last year, and that snake was fucking phenomenal. I mean, it was so cool.
So if somebody get into Monsoon project today, would you advise them to go the pattern route and try to tinker with stuff that would impact the pattern, or would you advise them to go like color route, like start working into your ultra males, like you say, a DG VPI, or I assume VPI, but it is Anthony, but you know,
right? Yeah. It's a good question. That's a good question. I think you should go both routes. I think you should go color, but I also think you should go pattern. And I think, I mean, obviously, the more you can do them together, you know, like the more that you're able, like, let's give a DG puzzle over here, and you're breeding your Monsoon to it. Hey, dude, that's fucking kick ass. Those are stellar babies. Those are great holdbacks. You're gonna make some really kick ass shit from those in the future. I mean, if you can afford to do that, and if you have the ability to do that, I would recommend doing that. But I think if you're getting into the Monsoon project now, I would honestly look at your collection, look where you're different than guys like myself, other people who are working with the Monsoon, and see how you can maybe define your own path. You know what I mean? Like, you can take it to your own stuff. But definitely, I think Hypo, DG, and the Monsoon are definitely a must. I think Ultramel is a must. There's a gentleman over in Europe that he made the Ultramel Monsoon. Did you see that last year, Mike? Did you see that he made that?
Ultramel Monsoon? Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Yep, it's fucking a kick-ass looking fucking snake. We had a chance to make it this year. It didn't happen. I have a good customer of mine, Evan. I really hope he makes one this year. So yeah, I want to see more of those. I think Ultramel Monsoons are going to be kick-ass, and I can't wait to add more like incomplete dominance and stuff like that into that with the Ultramel, because with the brightness of the Ultramel and all that, I think that there's some really kick-ass shit we can do with it.
I forgot who that was that made the Ultra Monsoon, but I feel like it was somebody overseas.
It was somebody over in Europe. Mike, if you asked me his name, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. I want to say that Jaffe shared it with me, but yeah, it was dope.
It was super cool, and it was a great looking snake. And I think he made a Mojave one, and I think he also made he made a Mojave one. What?
Did he make a special one too?
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. You know, Mike, I have special monsoons because I have an adult special het monsoon female. And I was kind of shying away from it at first because everyone didn't like the Blue-Eyed Lucy complex, the Bell complex. They wanted to get that all out of their monsoons. And so we were, us breeders were working really hard to get that shit out of there, and make those. But now, man, I don't know. I'm seeing the special monsoons and how bright they are. They're really pretty. They're really good looking. And so I'm starting to see like more of a path that I can take with special monsoons into other mutations. That's going to be, I think, a really cool looking animal.
Do you feel like you'll get like, because how like Cypress and Special have like that really dope interaction in some combos? You think you would get something similar like that in Monsoon?
I'm hoping so, bud. I don't, obviously we don't know until you produce it, but I am seeing like what you just talked about, that interaction could really twack it out and make you a really hot snake. So yeah. I think that there's definitely a potential for it. And this kind of goes back to what you were talking about earlier. We can only do, Mike, so much stuff. Like me, I only have X amount of space. I have X amount of time. I have a job. I have all this other stuff going on. I don't have the ability to do all this stuff, just like you yourself. You don't have as much time to do everything you want to do. And so that's another reason that I do feel that our industry has legs and that we're not dead yet, like everyone says we are, because we have so much more to do. There's so many more mutations and so many different paths that we can go, and we can create stuff. And, and it takes a long time. This yourself, how long it takes for when you produce your own babies. I mean, when did you just told me at that clutch, how long ago did you produce that female, Mike?
So this girl, this is probably my quickest girl to grow, but she'll be on eggs at about 24 months, I think. So she grew pretty quick. Yeah, she grew pretty quick.
Okay, that's really fast. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not typical, right?
No.
Like the other girl, this I thought was gonna be first, she'll be 3.
Yeah. Normally
that's more typical.
Normally for me, it's normally like 3 years. For me to produce a female that I want to raise up and I want to get eggs from, it takes me 3 years normally. 24 months. That's a godsend. Like Winston can do that sometimes. Brad can do that. I can't do that. I never get that lucky. So
this is the only one that I've gotten up to size like that quick, and she started like doing all the things she need to do in terms of producing. Like I said, the other ones is even close are 3 years old.
Right. And when you think about it, so like someone that's not in our industry and doesn't understand us and what we do, they don't understand the huge amount of like time commitment that we put into this stuff to make the stuff that we're making. Like we really put a lot of time and energy, and it takes us forever sometimes just to produce something that could be, an awesome, home run hit, or it could be, like the Puzzle Clown. I put a lot of time, energy, and money into the Puzzle Clown, and guess what? That was a bust. I busted on that one. I had no idea. I did not see that coming. That Puzzle and Clown were going to make basically a nice clown. That's what they did. Isn't that nuts?
But like Pod is one of those ones where I go back and forth with it, right? Like, should I stay in? Should I get out? Should I stay in? Should I get out? Like I'm always kind of like ping-ponging across the table, like with that decision. And obviously I'm still in because I'm still working it. And I haven't really like unloaded a lot of the Pod stuff that I do have. And then also part of it too, like I like it because it was one of the first mutations, just Pod itself, that really caught my eye. It's also an eye-catching mutation for like people outside of the hobby, right? I can show somebody like a $20,000 hypo puzzle combo, and I can guarantee you, if somebody who's like not in the industry, I can guarantee you that most of the people who's not in the industry, they're gonna like the Pod stuff.
They love the Pod stuff. Oh yeah,
jump right out at them. And so that's another reason why I don't want to get out. And then it's kind of got a special place in my heart, as like corny as that sound. But if you think about like all the things that have happened for me in that project, like it feels like the universe is like willing me to work that project. The male had an extra gene, so that got me at least 2 years ahead in the project. And then the girl grew super quick. So it's like all that kind of stuff is like, I feel like I would be crazy to get out of that project. Like
no, and I like that. And you have not only do you have an emotional connection to it, and you should stay with it because you are emotionally connected to it. You like it, and all that. Me, I've been doing this so long. I'm so used to pieds. You know, pieds were created in 1997. I've been playing with pieds for far too long. I still work. I'm working my clown pied project with the DG and stuff, and I have some monsoon pieds, and like, we still have some sunset pieds. But other than that, I'm not working very much pied, and that's just. I've done a lot of pieds over the years, and that's just me, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense too. That makes sense.
But
I'm gonna definitely see this project through, as far as at least hitting the triple, and then we'll see where we go. But at some level, I'm probably always gonna be in pied. It's not the primary focus, but at some level, I'll have some pied stuff for sure.
Right, and you are 1,000% correct. When people come over and they see my facility, and I can show them some kick-ass monsoon combo, this, that, and the other. Like, that's okay, and they're not a snake person. You pull out that tub with a pied in it, and they go, they're like, that's fine. They do. Whenever I see I'm dealing with a non-snake person, especially someone who hates snakes and this, that, and the other, I show them a fucking pied. You know what they do? They're like, oh my god, that's
Is that real?
Yeah, they're like that's real. That's amazing. And I'm like, yes. You know, it's like I always use the pied as like to show them like, okay, you think we're all, you know, this, that, and the other, but we're playing with this. You show them a pied combo or pied, they lose their mind. They're like, okay, Brock, that's really fucking cool. I'm like, no shit. So,
yeah, you gotta show it to them, and they be like, wow, like, ooh,
yeah. And then the next question always is, how much does that cost? You know, it's always like, how much does that cost? I love that one. You know, I get that all the time because I've been doing this for so long. And I think some of my friends who are not snake friend or not, you know, not snake in the snake business, they love when we're like out at social settings or whatever. They're like, that Brock guy over there, he makes money by selling snakes. And people are like, what? They're like, what the fuck? And they're like, no, he drives a better car than you do. They don't, like, they just get all like just tripped the fuck out when they find out like some of the stuff that we've done, you know, in the hobby and how much money we've made and all that stuff. Speaking of that, I know we talked about this. You said you watched half of my documentary from Leviathan last night, so you got like halfway through it, right?
Yeah.
You got to watch that. Gretchen, my wife, she's the star of the show. I got to get a hold of Steven. Steven like totally put her in the documentary about me way more than me. She was last night. She was all smiling. She's like, look at me, I'm so beautiful.
She knew her shit, bro. Like she was on it.
Yeah, she has been with me, you know, we've been together for 23 years because we'll be married for 21. Yeah, next month, 21. I gotta remember all this stuff. But anyway, yeah, dude, she started talking about shit. I didn't think she was talking about like our Jared Carr experience when I told you about it earlier. I was like, I'm like, damn, woman, you just put my shit out there. I like it. She was having fun with it for sure. She, you know, she's not a snake person, and for her to really let me do this, you know, when we were just, you know, she was my girlfriend at the time. And she came home from work one day, and I went out and spent $15,000 on a spider that day. And she came home from work at 5 o'clock. And I'm like, "Hey, honey, guess what I did today?" And I'm sure she wanted to fucking kill me. You know what I mean?
So you've been in the game for a minute, but at one point you was like new school. I feel like today there's not really this tension between like old school, new school. Like I feel like everybody kind of like vibing, you know what I'm saying?
We all vibe. Yeah.
It wasn't always like that, was it?
No. Honestly, bud, I'm telling you right now, Mike, I got into this and it was kill or be killed. And it was eat or be eaten. And I was taught that when I got into this business. And I think that's where some people probably don't understand me, don't understand my personality, don't understand where I come from. When I got into this, I was rejected by the industry because I was in the middle of America. There was nobody around me for 2 states, you know, in each direction that was really doing it, and especially going to do it on the level I was wanting to do it. So I didn't really have any mentors or anything like that I had close. So and the internet, you know, I'm very jealous of everybody that has YouTube now. And you can get all this information on YouTube. This was not available. And so, I mean, I had to really scour the internet, and I had to really pick people's brains. And one thing I learned early on, Mike, is people weren't going to give me information unless I spent money with Okay. And that's one thing that even to this day, people don't still understand that concept. I mean, if you want, I'll be straight with you, any breeder, you look at, and I'm not trying to be rude here, but any breeder that, you know, you want them to really take you under their wing or really, you know, coach you and all this stuff, you know, you got to support that person. Does that make sense? And
yes.
So I learned from an early stage on in this, I needed to support those people for those people to support me and teach me. So I had to drop a lot of money, Mike, to really, you know, get people to mentor me and for me to learn. But no, this hobby was very, very cutthroat, always fucking backstabbing. I mean, just god awful fucking rumors that people would make up. And, you know, I mean, I said this in my documentary. I'll never forget when people, you know, one of them still in this, and he was telling everybody I was putting all the male bananas in the freezer. I was freezing. Brock's diabolical. He's freezing those fucking banana males. I'm like, dipshit. I would sell them and make that money. So no, I was not putting them in the fucking freezer. But he told everybody, and this kid, he's special. And he just sat on the computer all day long, telling everybody, anybody who listened to him, Brock's doing this. So like, oh my God. Every day I had to wake up to some other bullshit. Those were not fun times. The money was great. Dealing with that shit really.
Like, where was that even coming from? Like, did he just pull it out his ass, or like was it something that made you think that? Like,
so let's just start with the root of it was jealousy, and it would start over here, and then it would be amplified by the time it got to here. And yes, this one individual, he started a lot of it himself, or he had someone that was smarter than him that was kind of putting little seeds in his brain to tell him, hey, you should do this, or you should say this. And there was a lot of jealousy in that because, you know, when I started, I kind of rose up pretty fast, and I figured out the game pretty fast. I figured out the name of the game, what the game was, and I was very fortunate. Kind of like I talked about, me and Bo, very, very, you know, we joined forces pretty fast, and we kind of, you know, he'd been in the game longer. He taught me a lot of things, and I learned from him, and he learned from me as well. There's things that he was good at, there's things I was good at. So joining forces, it was a good thing for us. I mean, I taught him business, he taught me the snake business, so it was good.
Sweet, hell yeah. Like Josh said, man, you only get as the people you're around.
Yeah. You know, it was a good gig, and we were really, really fast, Mike, at acquiring new morphs. Okay, so like new hot morphs. I mean, I used to have the 411 when it came to Africa. Okay, and you know, buying shit straight out of Africa, which that's really sketchy, by the way. I mean, that's sketch. It's really sketch. And so getting shit straight out of the wild and getting it here, and you know, a lot of times things would come in, they're not what they're represented to be. There's always going to be a problem, all that kind of shit, you know. And so, but you have to spend a lot of money in order to get those gems, those real good snakes that you're going to make big money off of. You know what I mean? And there's things that I saw, and because I'm such a snake dork, like, you know, I geeked out over the fucking champagne. And I did good with lessers and spiders and things of that nature, G stripes and such. But there was a gene called the caramel albino. Do you know about caramel albinos?
Yeah.
They look like ultramels, but they're different. Okay. Yeah. They're a little bit lighter in color. Well, I was, Mike, in 2015 or 2005, excuse me. It was the first year I really made good money at this. I put a bunch of money into caramel albinos and caramel albino hypo. And that was the snake, and Kevin had already made it. It's called the Caramel Glow. And so I made my first Caramel Glow, I think 2007. And so I was going real hard on these caramels, and caramels at the time were selling for like $5,000 a piece. Well, I didn't know they had neurological issues, kind of like a spider. And then the females don't lay eggs very reliably. They're not like desert. They're not like the desert gene. The desert gene females, they can't lay eggs because of strictures inside their oviducts, things of that nature. But caramel albino females, they're just very hard to get them to lay eggs. And so I was so heavily invested in the caramel project, I was selling people caramels. And then that caramel project just ended up being a fucking dud, you know? And so there was a lot of like hit and misses along the way. So not everything I did was perfect. I'm just trying to say that not everything that I touched turned to gold. People used to tell me that, oh, Brock, everything you touched turned to gold. It didn't. I had a lot of like faux pas and messes up along the way, but I always picked myself back up and kept moving forward. And this industry, what I like about it now is that we have so much more of an industry where everybody gets along, everybody can talk. And there's so much less infighting and backstabbing and just all that fucking stupid childish bullshit. I mean, I'm 48 years old. I don't care. You want to call me a big nose, Shrek looking motherfucker, knock yourself out. I don't care anymore. I don't care. And, but back in the day that would have hurt me, now I'm like, I don't give a shit. There was a lot more of that, Mike, back in the day. And now we're just more of a cohesive group, and I like that. I do like that. And I think
for the industry.
What?
I think that's good for the industry too.
I honestly do. I think it's really good for the industry. I'll never forget Ralph Davis calling me up in 2006, and he was telling me, he was like, "Hey, Brock, everyone's talking about you, blah, blah." I'm like, "Yeah, Ralph, I'm kind of getting tired of everyone talking about me, blah, blah, this." And Ralph told me, he's like, "Hey, Brock, it's good. Everybody's talking about you." He goes, "It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative." He goes, "It's good. It's good for business now." I was like, "Okay, Ralph." I'll never forget that conversation with Ralph. Ralph told me, he's like, "Hey, Brock, as long as they're talking to you, are talking about you," he goes, "it don't matter if it's good or bad." He goes, "You just want them talking about you." I was like, "Okay, buddy." That's a true conversation I had. And that was I think that was kind of the mentality that I was brought into this, into this hobby and so I'm really happy that we've grown and we're no longer there. I'm really happy about that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, way more positive of a community now. And I like that. Way more easy to get along, especially, another thing that's great about this industry is, I have friends in other countries now, Mike. I have friends from other walks of life, and I love that, that I can meet, go out to dinner, associate with people that normally I wouldn't, and it's great. I love that. And I love that.
You see all kinds of people in this industry.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people. I mean, I'm pretty simple. I mean, I'm a family guy, loves business and loves animals. I'm pretty simple, but I love learning about new people, new cultures, things of that nature. I love that stuff, so it's fun.
Gotcha. I got a wrap-up question for you, but it's a multi-part wrap-up question. Okay. So to date, like, what would you say your legacy has been thus far? Where do you ultimately want your legacy in this industry to be? And do you feel like you headed that direction, or you feel like you need to do some things differently to get there?
Good question. Number one, my legacy, I think, and I'm not being conceited here, but I know for a fact that I helped get us to where we're at now. And what I mean by that is I've been doing this for 23 years. I've helped pioneer and make this industry what this is. When I came into this industry, there wasn't a lot of people had business licenses, weren't paying their taxes like I do, and what I taught people how to do. So I look at that. I really helped kind of take us in that direction where we became very professional. And from the outside looking in, where people were easy to judge us as ruthless, whatever they wanted to associate with underworld crime, crime and things of that nature. I think that people like myself and I've been doing this long enough that I really helped make this a professional, very more socially acceptable / we're more we're just way more acceptable by most people that aren't in the snake business, that they now can look at us and go, okay, I see what they're doing over there. They're professional. They're not bothering anybody. This is completely, acceptable. They're over here. I think that I really also helped develop the market and showed, people I commanded a lot of prices on snakes, especially back in the day. I was the first one to price them that high and to demand the prices that we got. And I really pride myself for helping do that and keeping it going that for as long as I have. That, and I've made so many friends and met so many people that it's been a great ride. Now, when it comes to, future of the legacy of Brock Wagner Reptiles, I will tell you that, Mike, I've thought long and hard about this, is that I just don't know if, I don't know how do I word this the right way, is I just don't feel I have like anything left to prove. Does that make sense? And it's not that I'm conceited. I'm just me, and there's people that are way above me. There's people way more smarter than me. There's people way more money than me, all that stuff. So, but for me, myself, and who I am, I can honestly tell you that in my heart, I just feel like I don't have anything really left to prove. I've done this for so long. I've put so much hard work and sweat and tears into this business and doing this, constantly, and that I know this industry will survive without me in it. And someday that will come, where I will retire and just have a couple of animals. And because I'm getting older, I'm almost 50, next year I turn 50, and slowing down, was going to be better for my health and such like that. So I'm very fortunate that I have some business partners and friends in the industry that obviously they'll still have some of my animals and stuff if I do decide to slow down. So that I'll still have animals and have access to animals if I want and such. So that's kind of like the future and maybe kind of where I see myself going. I'm still obviously doing it, but I am getting tired. It has nothing to do with the industry. I'm totally going to support this industry, Mike, until the day I die. I'm here for the reptile industry. I'm definitely here for the BallPython game. I hope that someday maybe there's even a movie made about all of us and all the crazy shit we did back in the day. I think that'd be great. Yeah, it would be so cool. There's so many more colorful people than just me in this industry, and the stories are just amazing. And so,
the story you told me about the cop, like I could see that being something in a movie.
The what now?
The story that you told me about the cop.
Oh yeah. Oh, that could be in a movie.
In a movie.
Yeah, that could totally be in a movie. That was pretty fucking crazy. I give my wife credit. She's seen so much shit that she's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. She's like, how do you get us in these situations? I'm like, I don't know. And somehow we always come back out on top and we survive it. I don't have a clue. I'm very fortunate that way. So no, for me, I would like to see my daughter Callie continue on with it, as I get older in my 50s and stuff. Cause I mean, Mike, I do need to slow down. My body's starting to wear. I still work out like I told you, but I'm starting to slow down. You know what I mean? Like I don't need 400 or 500 snakes or anything like that anymore. So it's just
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That was a good answer too. I appreciate you elaborating and really building out that answer. That was a good one.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought about it, so I appreciate it.
Nice. So anything else you want to let people know before we get out of here tonight, man?
I look forward to seeing all my friends in Tinley. Please come say hi. I'm just like the rest of you. I need some uplifting, positive juju, positive spirits. So come over. I might be drinking a beer, smile at me and say, hey, what's up, Brock? I love it when people do that. And, we're going to get through this. This is a tough time, but I promise you that there is, there is a future in the hobby. There's totally a future for you and where you fit in this hobby. So don't give up. This is, the economy just in general sucks right now. We will persevere. We will get through this. And there's still a lot more kick-ass snakes that everyone's going to make. So I'm really looking forward to the future.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on tonight. I appreciate you spreading positivity. Tell everybody to keep the head up, man. It's a dope market. It's a fun market. Relationships, man, that's huge in this. I've developed a whole bunch of relationships just in kind of like bumping into people, getting to know people better and stuff like that. So all that stuff is cool. It goes a long way, man. There's people you can tap in with in terms of knowledge, resources, like all that stuff. There's so many positive things about this industry. Like
100%. Keep your heads up. Be positive, everybody. And keep working the projects that you believe in, that you like, even if I don't. So do what makes you happy.
Hell yeah. Big facts, man. Again, appreciate you coming on tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. Big shout out to Replay Game. Make sure y'all let us know you was here. Drop a comment, hashtag Replay Game, man. But that's going to be it for tonight. For Clutch Conversations, I'm Mike. This is Brock. The lovely lady behind the scenes is Takara. Thank y'all for coming out. Be blessed. Peace.
Peace out, people.